So as you know from one of my recent videos, I had a bit of a failure on one of my recent trips. Basically because I had 2 drive failures. In fact, I had 3 problems altogether. I had an SD card go on me. So a micro SD card completely went, lost all my data that was on it, which was about a day and a half's worth of footage. I had a Windows laptop that stopped seeing USB drives when it was in full Windows mode. You had to be in safe mode before it could see the Windows drives being plugged in. I also had the WD My Wireless Pro, an external hard drive. I had that fail on me as well. So all of those failures happened while I was away from home. And I was on vacation for a week following the Tour de France, trying to capture images on 6 cameras. So on my next trip, which is to the United States of America, the USA, yay! I'm away for 2 weeks and we're doing basically a cross-country driving trip. So trip of a lifetime. I want to capture every single moment I can, and I don't want to lose any footage. I don't want to lose any footage at all. Basically, I've changed my laptop so that my laptop now doesn't have that problem, and I changed my storage solutions. I've also bought new micro SD cards and things like that as well. So I've now got a few spare micro SD cards so I can use them, and I thought I'd go down the route of buying some really good external hard drives and having double backups as well. So for my 2 weeks in the States, I need to make sure I've got enough so that I can back up things in at least 2 locations. So I'm still going to take my little SanDisk drive because I think this is fantastic. It fits in your pocket, and it's such a rugged little drive, compact drive, that I need to take it anyway. Plus it's, extra storage, USB-C, so it's nice and fast. I'm then going to take my trusted old Freecom drive. That's a 1 terabyte drive, bit of a rugged drive as well. It's the good old fashioned kind of spinning hard drive inside magnetic media, but it is USB 3, so it's going to be quite quick on transferring data. I've also bought this G drive. It's a 1 terabyte SSD drive. And this is going to be my backup as well, and this is USB-C, so nice fast transfers. However, as you probably guessed from the thumbnail and the subject title of this video is mostly about this little product. So LaCie have been making hard drives for years. Basically, I've been using their hard drives for probably about 5-10 years. So when they came out with this drive, which is a kind of hybrid version of the Western Digital My Wireless Passport Pro, catchy title for it, wasn't it? I thought I've got to give this a try. So the first thing is, it's a 2 terabyte hard drive. They've gone down the route of using a mechanical spinning magnetic media type hard drive in there. It's not SSD. Now for the price, 300 and something pounds, you'd have thought it'd be SSD, but it isn't. Anyway, that aside, they do actually give you a 3-year warranty to say if this drive crashes, they'll recover all your data off there for free. So you can't really argue with that. Apparently it's a Seagate drive inside there, which does mean Seagate reliability is pretty good. So LaCie obviously know what they're doing anyway. So I'm quite confident that whatever I put on here is going to be fine. So let's talk about this drive. Now it's a rugged drive, so pretty much like the ones you've seen, like the orange case on the outside. It's dust and water, like splash proof. It's also got a little bit of drop resistance to it as well. But the main thing about this drive is that you can plug in your SD card or micro SD card with a little converter they give you, and without needing a computer, it'll back up the contents of that card. You get on the screen, it comes up with a little message to say, would you like to copy the data? And then there's just this one button on the front which they call the action button. It's a short press for yes or okay, and a longer press for cancel or no. So basically, like I say, it's teamed up with DJI, and it says it's part of their Boss series, meaning you don't need to have a computer whilst you're filming. Whatever way you're filming, you can back up your data, back up your media drive without touching a computer there and then. The battery inside here lasts around about 3 hours. Obviously it depends on how much you're doing, but if you're constantly copying things, you're feeding it with information, so you've got USB things plugged in, or you've got micro SD cards plugged in, and you're copying that data across, that's going to give you around about 3 hours of constant use. That'll increase obviously if all you're doing is connecting via your phone and moving data around, but obviously if it's charging your phone as you're connected, which it can do because obviously it is a battery bank, then just bear that in mind, that it will charge your phone, which will deplete the battery inside here a little bit faster as well. So it takes about 3 hours to charge this from say around about 10% to fully charged 100%. That's using the supplied mains powered adapter. It does take that much longer if you're using something like a battery bank. Now let's say 500 gig takes about half an hour. Now if I did the same test with 500 gig copied over from this to my MacBook Pro, it'd take a little bit longer, so it's actually quite quick. The fact there's no computer and no checking of virus files and all that, I guess, is important as well, but it simply just copies the content straight to the hard drive. Now, little display on the front there does tell you a few bits of information when it's on charge. It tells you it's on charge and the percentage, and it also has got a little bit of a gauge around there that shows you the drive space available as well as the prompts for copying the data over and things like that. Now, as well as the micro SD card slot on the back, you've got USB-C and the USB-A connector, which is USB 3 speed. I know that's a bit strange, but the USB-A is the connector, USB 3 is the version of that A connector, and then it's got a USB-C connector on there as well. So connectivity options are brilliant, and there to connect it to your computer and to anything else as well. So for example, my drone, the Mavic Air, has got some internal storage as well. So I can plug the drone straight into this and download from the drone. That's the partnership with DJI, is that they're, basically aiming at people out in the field with their drones to back up the data straight away. And then the next part about this is you can even take one of your external drives and plug it into here, and then either copy the media off this to free up some space in this one, or to replicate the two, you can actually plug your phone into this as well, or your tablet, and it supports iOS phones and tablets and Android phones and tablets. And in fact, it comes with 3 cables for micro USB, USB-C, and a lightning cable. So basically you just plug the cable into the back. It even comes with this little sort of line around the outside where you can wrap the cable up, and the ends of the cable, so the lightning end or the USB-C end, is actually slightly magnetized, so it sits inside here when you put the rubber case back over the back to protect all the connectors. If this is running low and you're still out in the field, you can't use obviously the mains powered adapter that comes with it to charge it. You can actually use a USB battery bank. Plug it in here, and that will then start to charge it as well. You can use this to charge your mobile phone if you want to as well. If your phone's running flat, you plug it in here and it'll charge it. Now, once you've connected your iOS device or your Android device, you can either launch the app, the special DJI Copilot app, which will allow you to manipulate the images on here. You can play videos, look at pictures. So if you're out in the field and you're just thinking, did I get that shot? Are those pictures crisp and clear on where I was trying to shoot? Just download them to here, and then obviously open up the app on your device and look and just make sure that's okay before you leave the scene. You're still able to go back and reshoot if you need to. However, you can even navigate to this device from within the native apps on iOS, like the Files app, or also on Android as well. You don't need to go into the DJI app at all. But if you are in the DJI Copilot app, you can obviously see from there are options to access USB and access SD card. So if you've got an SD card in there, you connect it to your phone or your tablet, you can download straight from the card inside, and also download straight from the USB if you're putting a thumb drive in there or an external hard drive, or just another USB device in there. And that also allows you to copy and paste, move things around, delete things. And that's what I was saying about creating extra backups as well. So that, for example, if that's my 1 terabyte SSD, I can plug this in. So having downloaded all my content to this one, I can then plug this in, and then via the app, I can start moving things across to make sure then that my other external drive replicates the contents that's on this LaCie drive. But it's not just kind of like a DJI thing as well. If you've got a GoPro, you can plug that in there. Something, say it's a Panasonic or a Sony camera or anything like that, you can plug your memory card in there as well. Or say, for example, you've got an old 5D Mark III, which uses CF cards. Well, the USB adapter on the back there allows you to put in a card reader and still download the content that way as well. The display on the front there gives you confirmations about what it's doing. All I'd say is when you're copying data from either a USB device or a micro SD, don't eject them, don't unplug them until the little screen's confirmed, copy done. at which point then you can unplug whatever you're doing. Or if you're using the app, you'll see the little eject button. Make sure you click that eject button before you pull anything out, just to make sure it's not going to corrupt any cards or anything like that. So overall, really happy about this little device. I think it's going to answer a lot of my questions over what do I do about backing up all my data from all my devices when I go away. I say I'm going to have a computer, but I don't want to pull out the computer every 5 minutes. Maybe I want to do some editing once every 2 days or something like that, and I'll go and look at the media files. But every day, and certainly maybe even at times during the day, I might stop at a cafe or something like that. I'll plug everything in and I'll download it, and I'll probably plug my phone in and check that all the images I've been taking that morning or that afternoon are all looking good, and I don't need to reshoot anything. It's nice to know that for the times I do go away now, I've got this little thing to back me up and to take care of all my data needs when I'm out and about. Now, everything that I've shown you today, all these little drives and devices and everything like that, they're all linked in the video description down below. Nobody's sent me any of this for free or for reviews. These are all my products bought with my money. So this video is not in any way influenced by any manufacturer, and if you do click on the links down below and buy any of these products, obviously Amazon will give you the best price and pay me a tiny sort of affiliate payment as well for it. So if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you think anyone else might be interested in anything that I've shown you here, please do feel free to share it with them. And if you're not already and this is the type of stuff you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe while you're here. So thanks for watching today. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.